Welcome to Americana. I'm Willie Montague.
And I'm the cutest reindeer, Shakea.
Come on, reindeer. This is where serious issues meet serious conversations, and it's definitely going to be interesting today.
It is.
No slogans, no sideshows, just substance. So buckle up, because you are on a ride today. This is America. Well, coming up on today's episode, dating, identity, and the political shift of black men. We back in the house today. Presidential decorum and expectations. We'll save that. All right, young voters reject the script, and Kristie Noem, the face of the immigration. All right, let's get into this. It is time to us to talk about dating. We're watching a realignment happen in real time, you guys. Black men are exercising more independence socially, culturally, and politically. Interracial relationships are more common. Entrepreneurship is rising, and rigid identity politics are losing their gap. As black men step outside prescribed boxes, voting behavior is shifting, and Democrats are clearly uncomfortable with black people, black men changing who they like.
Not even. I don't think Democrats are not bothered by whom black men choose to procreate with, who they love. And I say this generically. I, however, am not bothered by that. I think when it becomes an issue for me is when black men belittle black women to esteem the race of their choosing. Like, why belittle the race, the origin in which you were created from, just because you may not find them as attractive and they may not be your preference?
Give me some examples.
Well, we talked about this briefly yesterday.
Yes.
Okay, which is what stemmed the conversation of the Michigan coach, the head coach. Black guy, handsome gentleman, married to a white woman. The issue with him is that he was in an affair, got the mistress pregnant. She uncovered their entire relationship. He went to her house, threatened to kill her or himself. He then went to jail. His life is in shambles. And I brought that up yesterday as an example because you made a statement saying that black women weren't supporting black men who were becoming entrepreneurs. And I gave an example, one of many, of black men who choose not to have a relationship with black women for whatever reason, and they still end up with issues just like anyone else.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that issues are going to go away, but have we took a deep dive into why he may be steered to a white woman versus a black woman?
I have an answer for that.
Okay.
So after doing a little bit of research, no, not even just came ready. I just did a little bit of research of the man. He grew up in a town where black women, black people were not as prevalent. It was a small little town where his environment did not allow him to choose black women.
So he couldn't go outside of those.
He could have, but I mean, we all know environments shape who we see, who we choose, our preference. His college careers, I don't know. His choosing, his preference is obviously with white women. That is not my fight.
Well,
do your thing, brother.
Well, let's roll up our sleeves here.
Please.
Let's talk about this. My thing is, if you look at individuals like Jasmine Crockett and you look at
Congresswoman.
Yeah, whatever. So you look at individuals like her, it's hard for you to see that as someone who is going to stand and have the back of a black man. I just don't see her doing that. She seems like an individual that is a feminist, not someone who is going to be loud and proud supporting black men. She seems like she just wants to be ratchet and ghetto, and then her whole narrative that she does is always self-centered. There's nothing in there that seems to talk about, because when I'm talking about black men, I'm talking about the reestablishment of the nuclear family. That's not even in her blood.
I think it is so hilarious that you choose Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett as your example, which further lets me know that you really identify as a true Republican, who you're intimidated by women like Congresswoman.
I'm not intimidated. I think she doesn't need to be in leadership.
I say intimidated because you use the term because she's strong and that she's a feminist, that she would not be able to support a black man. Like, that is a huge assumption.
I never said she was strong.
That is a huge...
I said she was a feminist.
She's a feminist. But what would make you say that if you weren't intimidated by how she presents herself?
I'm not intimidated by it. I just think that she should not be in the position she is.
And why would you think that she's not able to be with a black man because of the work that she does and the stature that she portrays?
She just doesn't have it.
So do you think I have that?
I think you do.
You think I do?
What do you want me to say? That's
so do I not mirror Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett?
Absolutely not.
I don't.
You give bougie, she gives ghetto.
I give bougie, she gives ghetto. So how do I give bougie and she gives ghetto? I feel like we're kind of one and the same. Well, she's on Capitol Hill and I'm in the streets.
Yes.
Not for the street. I'm in the street.
That's what I'm like. Let's clarify.
Let me clarify that.
Let's clarify. That'll be the talk of the Congress.
Oh my God.
But no, I just say, for me, I just really think that she is just not the black woman I would want to see my black daughter model behind.
That's interesting because she's extremely successful.
Success to who?
For how she is in office, her trajectory from her political activism up to where she is now and where she's headed in the Senate. Yes, I said it. But going back to black men dating outside of their race and this notion that you have about them not receiving the support from black women when they become entrepreneurs. What data do you have to support that?
I don't think it's necessarily about data. Everything's not going to be data. The truth, I was raised up in a black household, black mother, and I can tell you that the majority of the support I have received in my lifetime did not come from black people. It did not come from those that I thought should have supported me in my endeavors, whether that was entrepreneurship, whether that was ministry, whatever it was, even my traveling, it was more kick up because it's like, oh, well, what are you going to do with this? It almost seemed like we got to sit here and suffer together. Or I give this example, and I would not mention any names. I was engaged to a black woman. I remember preparing myself to travel to another country. We were sitting in this living room. These two other black women asked her, "How do you feel about Pastor Willie traveling?" Oh. This is what she said. She said, "Oh, well, that's him. I'm staying here." That was no support. That let me know right there. That was the first time. Not the other two black women
that you were engaged to.
I'm telling my business. So, but that caused a problem for me. I feel like it was very.
So let's pause there and dissect that.
Okay.
Right. So I don't think that it is a fair blanket statement to make that black women in general do not support black men when they are pursuing their endeavors. I think it is your choice. Your choosing is what's shaping your perspective of black women.
My poll is 3 out of 3.
That's what I'm saying. If you've chosen 3 black women and they're all similar in nature, that means you are choosing wrong.
No, I don't know.
Because I've had, and I'm gonna take the heat off of you for a second, okay? I'm gonna share my business. I'm gonna spill a little tea. So I too have played in the sandbox. I have dated various colors in the crayon box, right? My preference is black men, but I am not degrading the other black men that I've dated because it didn't work out. I've dated white men, I've dated Mexicans, I've dated Filipinos. I've had my share.
That's why you don't want us to call ICE. So,
call them out. I love all God's children, okay? But listen, honestly, I am not going to put down a particular race because it did not work out for me.
But this is not degrading for me, Shakea. It's just I feel like...
You want somebody submissive.
Well, women are supposed to be submissive, and that's the reason why we have issues in society
That's why
today.
you don't like Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. Oh, that makes sense. You feel like she's not submissive.
She's definitely, most definitely not submissive.
Ooh, no. I think there is a man that, and she may have somebody. We don't know her business, right? But what she does for a living versus what she does behind closed doors is none of our business.
You know what?
There may be a man.
I can liken her to the progressive version of Candace Owens, who because...
How dare you put them in the same...
Because of Candace Owens' personality, she had to end up with a white man because the white man was going to take her with a bullcrap. And that's why I see with Jasmine Crockett. No one is going to be able to take her with her but a white man.
We can't put those two in the same category. That is not an appropriate equivalency. Like, we can't do that. But what I will say is I may not be as ghetto, as you say, as Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, but I am very vocal about my wants and needs, right? And so I have a husband who balances me, and he happens to be a black man, and I love that man.
Well, praise the
There's
Lord.
Somebody for everybody.
It's time for us to go on a quick commercial break, but we will be right back. We done spilled out enough tea. Y'all take that for the week. We'll be right here. You're watching Americana.
Ooh.
Ooh, if y'all thought that was a topic, this one is also getting ready to be a topic. We are coming in full throttle on this Tuesday. So with us coming back, let's talk about presidential decorum and expectation. Hollywood producer Rob and Michelle Rayner's tragic death took everyone in the industry by surprise. However, President Trump's remarks have been deemed as highly inappropriate. I knew this was coming.
Did you? So what do you have to say?
Okay. Lord, help me what I'm about to say.
Oh, Lord.
We have something called the First Amendment. Everyone has their rights to free speech and those words that they want to use. Do I find it to be out of touch when it comes to someone who is grieving and passed? Yes. However, this is President Trump we're talking about, and he is going to say what he wants to say.
And that's your stance?
That's
Are you excusing what he said?
There's nothing to excuse. What do you want me to do? Go up there and spank him?
Not even. but what I am saying, so there have been other people in the Republican, the Republican Party, who have openly said that it was inappropriate, it was distasteful, and that he should have just remained quiet. You know the saying, when you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing at all, right? So silence would have been probably the most respectful thing that Trump could have done for this family. But hours after he was found, the family was found in their home, Trump went on Truth Social, like he does, and he likened this death, this tragic accident, to something political. Not knowing the full gamut of what happened, come to find out they have the man's son in custody for killing his parents, allegedly. But Trump initially went on Truth Social and said that it was something related to politics, and then called this man deranged, speaking in third person. It was just very Trump.
And as I said, Trump is going to be Trump. I really do not know the Rayners. I didn't follow things like that. I read the Truth Social post. I read other people's comment. But at the end of the day, you guys, this is why it's very important for us to recognize this. I've seen time and time again that there are so many things that are said in politics that when it pertains to certain people that say it, everybody wants to break loose.
But
what about some of the other things that are said?
But you expect differently from the President of the United States. He may not have agreed with this man. Why go on Truth Social and hours after this man and his wife was found dead in their home, you put out that type of narrative? Why not say anything? You don't have to say anything, but why paint that narrative?
Well, I've said this over and over. President Trump is the President of the United States. He's not the Pope. So I am not expecting President Trump to get up there and say, you know, I did not agree with him, but, you know, rest in peace. I'm not expecting.
So you're excusing his behavior, but you point out other issues when other politicians or people in the world would say or do something that was not. It just wasn't couth. It just lacked couth.
I'm actually not excusing it. I'm just saying we have our First Amendment right. Just President Trump is no different. The Constitution is not exempt from him. And if he wants to use his Truth Social,
it's not exempt from him. No. Does he know that? Because we've gone to court.
He is able to say and do in that regards in a respectful, safe way, like that. But to him, he feel like he's speaking his mind.
So, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to play devil's advocate because y'all Republicans typically do this when something happens. So it was a big uproar when President Obama wore a tan suit. It was in the news cycle at least for 2 weeks. Should Biden, Sleepy Joe, as y'all refer to him, have done or said something of that nature, it would also be, you know, another part of the news cycle. So where is the line of hypocrisy? Like, why is this acceptable because it's Trump versus past presidents, whether they were Republican or Democrat, who wouldn't have never dared to say anything like this after a tragedy?
I don't think that it was necessarily being there. I mean, we know that Biden wouldn't have wrote anything himself, so we know that would have been from his.
So you're trying to be funny, and I'm really trying to have a serious ass conversation.
I'm having a serious conversation. I don't believe that anything that Biden have done was of him, but I think that we think it's hypocrisy because we don't like accountability, especially on the Democrat side, and that's the problem.
Let's talk about accountability. So how should Trump be held accountable for this, President A, since he is the current sitting president?
What do you think? What merits some type of reprimand for this? There's nothing that Congress can do. There's nothing the Senate can do.
You're right. There is nothing legally that could be done, right? But whomever has his ear, should they not pull him aside and say, hey,
but Shakea, let's be honest. Even if he gives an apology, people will still say that was half-assed apology. He didn't really mean it. That's just him trying to cover his tracks.
I guess I shouldn't expect anything differently from Trump because he's proven to us time and time again that he lacks couth, he lacks decorum, he lacks integrity, and he lacks a form of heart. He has no soul. Honestly, I really don't feel like the man has a soul or a moral compass.
President Trump is saved, sanctified, and Holy Ghost filled.
For what God?
Baptized.
What? Oh, and fire baptized? Lord.
Young voters reject the script.
Oh, Paula White, how she held them angels from Africa.
Down in his soul. Wow. Yes, Lord. All right. Young voters are breaking from tradition. Gen Z and millennials are less loyal to political parties than any generation before them. And Democrats are losing their grip. Identity messaging is fading. Cost of living, jobs, and freedom are taking over. Young voters aren't radical. They're realistic. And they are...
Are they really?
Yep.
So where are they going, Willie?
Independent.
Are they going independent?
I believe they're going independent because, as we've said before, they're going independent during that time of election, they're going to end up voting for Republicans. No one wants to go with the Democrat Party at this moment. They don't want to take a party, but they most definitely are not going to vote Democrat.
So
everybody don't want to go to concerts.
That is still a sore spot for you. So we can talk about that tomorrow if you'd like. We can, so you don't have to tiptoe around that anymore. We can release you from that bondage. So who do you think voted for Zoran Mondani to get into office?
Nutcases.
What demographic, not even demographic, what generation of people do you think put him into office?
Probably young nutcases.
What demographic or generation of voters put Congressman Maxwell Frost into office?
Definitely progressive nutcases.
Okay, so those same progressive nutcases, as you say, someone who would want to run for office would actually need those same nutcases to put them into office, correct?
I always said this. I ran for office multiple times.
I didn't say you. I was just
I'm just saying, I ran for office multiple times, and I can tell you this. They're either going to vote for you or not. The kind of game that Maxwell Frost plays.
Congressman.
What the hell ever. But playing the games that he plays, that doesn't actually, it may win for him because he's paying for people's votes, and everyone loves something free.
Do you have receipts for that?
I can.
Do you have
This is not a campaign trail right now.
It's not. I'm just asking questions because you're making statements and I'm just asking for proof.
We will go to it. You can go,
data.
You can go to defrost10.com. But anyway, there is time that we recognize that young voters are not insensitive. They're not, and some of them are nutcases. Those are the ones that are voting for these people. And that's because they are hoodwinked. That's because they're bamboozled. That's because they are manipulated and easily controlled by messaging. But those who actually have common senses, like the ones that Charlie Kirk spoke to, those are the ones that are rising up to do what's necessary.
So the ones that you're referring to are considered to be MAGA.
No.
The ones that you are, the ones that you are referring to, you're talking about Charlie Kirk, who he spoke to. He spoke to a certain type of Republican, and we already talked about last week, the 3 different tiers, okay? So you're calling those who vote Democrat leftists, lunatics, progressive, all of those things. I can say the same for the Republican Party who voted for Donald Trump a second time. You're talking about someone who was hoodwinked. Trump ran his campaign on removing immigration, and we'll talk about that soon enough, removing illegals, but yet no one has been safe. That wasn't what he campaigned on. You talk about lunatics in office. We have a lunatic who is currently running this country.
I want to say this, and I'll say this, and I've already asked you, so you guys out there in the comments, you know, where do we not feel safe? I just don't understand why all of this, I'm not safe.
So
why is all these people?
We can jump into
let's go
the
to
next topic now.
We always say, okay, the Mexicans, we're not safe. Go back to Mexico. The Haitians, we're not safe. Go back to Haiti. Jamaica, go back to Jamaica. Find wherever it is that resonates with your well-being and go there.
So, yes, and the Constitution calls this country the land of the free, the home of the brave. Why do you think people come to this country, Willie?
It's free according to the Constitution, the way we live it. It's not free to just walk in the door.
Why do you think people come to this country?
They come to this country because President Trump is here to make America great again.
No. Real serious. Why do people come to the United States to seek a living?
Because it's a land of hope.
A land of hope.
And opportunities, yes.
Land of hope and opportunity. So you are saying that this land of hope and opportunity, and our Constitution says it's the home of the free, land of the brave, home of the free, whatever it says. But people who are outside of that bounds do not have. Jeez, go ahead.
That concludes tonight's episode of Americana. I'm Willie Montague.
I'm Shakea Hinton.
We'll be right back tomorrow. Don't go anywhere, y'all.